Hi guys, this is Patrick. Thank you for joining me once again. In today's video, I would like to continue with a topic I was discussing in the video I posted in November last year, and it was regarding how I learned 16 languages. In that video, if you remember, I talked about a device. I started by introducing how I learned 16 languages with books, what I do actually, how I write, how I memorize and all that. In the later part I say that I had this device. It's a world receiver, probably not so known in some parts of the world. Well, it's used as a device to listen to the radio. It has FM, AM, SW, LW, and so on and so forth. In today's video, I would just get started right away and tell you how I used it in learning foreign languages. Basically, it started right from secondary school. We used to be in the language lab where we listened to lots of many materials on the learning of language. And then it happened that on the device we used, I once changed it from the CD to the part where I could play the FM and other radio stations, and I happened to listen to RFI, Radio France International, and then I noticed that there is news in this language of learning, and I wanted to keep going. I kind of tuned more to other frequencies on this band of the radio, and got to listen to China Radio International as well, and NHK Radio, Radio Japan, so on and so forth. Many international radio stations broadcasting for foreign listeners, broadcasting not just the news, talk shows, language classes, music. It became quite interesting. Well, some part of this was not always in the language lab. When I had an experience in the language lab, then I went home. I also used my radio device to make this adventure to discover more radio stations, and it was quite interesting. The most interesting thing about the radio is that you don't have to pay 100% attention to wait like the television, where you have to watch and listen to be able to get what's going on. But then with the radio, you could be listening and cooking or doing all the stuff at the same time. Basically, the radio courses, I was just giving some brief explanations about NHK radio courses. So NHK radio courses could be about 100 lessons or 50 lessons, and usually the center I used to write to them, because we had programs on Sunday where the listeners write in and the messages were being read on air, and most times I wrote mine and I was listening to them. It was nice. I requested them send me materials to follow the courses, and they sent me these materials. It was so nice to read and write those hiragana and katakana Japanese alphabets, and even before going to Japan, I already have good grasp of the writings, and also so many basic conversations and topics. I already had a good grasp of the language. So not just NHK radio, well, so many radio stations have language courses. The إذاعة المملكة العربية السعودية, which the Saudi radio station, also had an Arabic course. So many radio stations have language courses. It's audio, not visual, but then some could provide you with materials if you write them, and you need materials to follow the courses. Wow. And I follow these language courses on the world receiver, writing down in my books, in my notebook, and kind of reading them, studying them in my free time. Most of the language courses on the radio are within the span of 5 minutes to 15 minutes, which you would think is not enough to keep you going or to help you to learn. DW in Deutsche Welle radio has the longest language course, which was 15 minutes. Of German was once a week. I followed, I wrote them. I could also find the materials online to follow the DW language course. It's quite interesting, and today my ability to speak these languages is a proof that a radio course, it's capable of making you to be able to know a language, to have the grasp, although go later on to do more studies. To learn more, to add to what I learned from the radio by practicing and relying with a lot of people, and then watching series or listening to music and a lot of stuff other than what I learned on the radio. But that was one of the background, one of the roots of my ability to know these languages. So if you type today or world receiver on Amazon or on the internet generally to find it, you can still find this device. I do not use it recently and do not follow language courses necessarily on them, because the world has changed a lot. Most of the radio stations that used to be on the air have migrated to the internet. We can download them on application. That is why I'm not saying absolutely that the word receiver is not useful anymore, but I mean that, for example, NHK radio, you can download the application in store on your phone, and you can listen to the language courses. You can listen to programs, choose the programs you want to listen to at your convenient time. You can also download application for DW or China Radio International, and so on and so forth. So the world has kind of changed a lot of things are digitalized, and great changes with this device. The important thing is that you just need a battery, and then even if you don't have the internet, you can get access to the stations and the programs listening to help you improve your language skills. Before I end today's video, I would like to also talk about the media, the newspapers. I have some newspapers with me. Due to the need to improve language skills, I read, like this is a Portuguese newspaper, this is the Korean newspaper, and a Russian newspaper. I have them with me. I go through them. I read from page to page. I had some years ago Frankfurt Allgemeine Zeitung. I read the entire newspaper. Reading helps us to get new words and improve the skills of the language in general. These are one of the things that I do, or that I did, that helped me to speak system language. In summary, to conclude the video, including that of today and that of which I posted in November 2023, last year, I just want to say that there are thousands of methods we use, or I use, in learning foreign languages, and I have covered so many of the ones I thought are important, and I sincerely think that if you follow these methods, you'll be able to drastically improve your ability, your capacity in one language. And thanks so much for listening today, and I hope to see you soon in another video. Comments, I hope you like the video and share. Bye now.